Welcome back, everyone, to the BIAV Melbourne Boat Show. It's our last day here, and we're going live across YouTube. And if you happen to be down here at the Docklands walking past, you'll be hearing us blaring out over the sound system there. Joining me this morning is Dan Brown from Boating Careers. He's our neighbour here at the boat show, a couple doors down, and we were having a little bit of a chat to him before. Dan's just launched a very exciting project. Dan, how are you going? Do you want to tell us a little bit about what you're doing here?
Yeah, good. Thanks for having me. So I work with the Boating Industry Association of Victoria myself. They've brought me on board to help build a platform that is, I guess, designed to address the skills shortage within the boating and marine industry in Victoria. So what we've done is we've built a platform called Boating Careers, which is essentially it's a recruitment platform. Something that we can use to take out to promote the industry to high schools, to all sorts of sectors. So what we want to do is try and build awareness through the platform. And here we are today at the show. We officially launched on Friday night the Boating Careers website and the platform itself. So it's all pretty exciting for us.
You've had a busy time, man, launching and then straight into a boat show.
Launching at the boat show, yep, and we're down here today. It's the last day of the show, so it's been a good couple of days down here at Docklands, and
we've had beautiful weather. We've had good crowds streaming through. Everyone's happy. Yeah. It's good to see.
It's been very good.
So you were mentioning to me just earlier, there's a bit of a skills shortage in the boating industry, and that's where you're coming in. You're trying to line up potential employers with employees. Is that right?
That's right. Yeah. So in the industry at the moment, there's an aging workforce, and it's not just in the boating industry. It is actually across the board in other sectors, but I guess predominantly in the boating industry, it's a bit alarming because it's an area that hasn't been addressed before. So there's never been a platform like this that has promoted the industry before. If you look at other industries, such as like if you wanted to go into the army or defence, there's a platform for called Defence Jobs, for example. So what we want to do is build a similar platform that we could use to help bolster the industry. The ageing workforce at the moment is going to start moving forward, and there's not enough new apprentices coming through to support the industry in the future. So if we don't do something now, we really do. We are at risk of losing our manufacturing and production here in Victoria, which would be a massive blow. It happened to the auto industry. They've all gone offshore when it comes to manufacturing, and we don't want that to happen for the boating and marine industry, especially for here in Victoria.
No, it's great walking around here today. Not that I've managed to walk very far from my stall, but I know we've got some really strong Victorian boat manufacturers here today, and there's a few guys that didn't make it down as well. Mm. And it's a bit of a niche industry that we have down here in Victoria and Australia. And like you're saying, I don't think that it could really be repeated offshore, but we need the workforce to power these companies.
We do. Victoria, and surprising to a lot of people, Victoria's got quite a massive building industry when it comes to so 90% of Victorian boats are on trailers. So with the nature of the coastline and where all the water lies in Victoria is what is basically it depicts what type of boats we can use down here. So if you go to other states like Queensland sort of thing, you're looking at more cruise and leisure craft and things like that, bigger boats. But in Victoria down here, we're 90% on trailers. So there's a massive fishing component when it comes to the boating industry down here. So a lot of the manufacturers here, their boats reflect that. So the manufacturing in Victoria is quite a large industry here.
Yeah, you don't see the boats that we have in Victoria and Tasmania to another extent anywhere else in the world. They're small, so we can trail them around the state and interstate, and we're mad. We take them out in ridiculous weather and we put them through hell. So it's not something you see anywhere else in the world, really. It's interesting. I was talking to a boat builder just recently, and he mentioned he I think he had some stupid number of people had put deposits on boats. It was like 15 or 20, and he just did not have the workforce to build the boats. He had to give them their deposits back, and he's just building them now on a case by case basis, which is it's a shame for him because like the people that want to buy the boats aren't happy. He's not happy.
That's it.
So it's exactly what you're doing is trying to get those people into that
Yeah,
industry.
that's it. And they can only keep up with the amount of boats they can build. So if some of the manufacturers they said, look, if we could take on this like say 10 apprentices, they would because they could actually they had marine mechanics as well to service them. So
it's interesting because I guess I was probably wished you were around 10, 15 years ago because coming out of school, I was always loved the marine industry and fishing, obviously, but there probably wasn't a very defined pathway through to these sectors. So how are you going about improving that for young people?
So that's one of the main missions is to build that awareness within the high schools. So we've been since I've started with Boating Industry Association, we've been I've been building relationships with all the career counsellors and making sure that we're booked in for their career days and so forth. So we're attending all the schools where we're showcasing the industry to high schools because a lot of the time kids aren't aware of the options within the marine industry when it comes to apprenticeships and things like that. So I mean, I've had kids come up to me and say I wanted to be a mechanic, but I didn't know I could be a marine mechanic. So it's a slow burning project to build that awareness, but we're actually starting to make some good traction. I'm working with a lot of parents now, helping them to nurture them into apprenticeships. So we're starting to get some actual results, which is really positive, and the industry is starting to get a little bit excited about potentially having fresh blood come their way. So that's pretty good.
That's awesome to hear. Now, what about yourself, Dan? Do you have much of a boating background, or is it more the tech side of thing that you excel in?
So my father's always had a boat, but he was from WA, so he had a cruiser. So I did spend a lot of my childhood sort of going out with him, but not traditionally a boatie myself. I come from a training. I'm passionate about training and education and people I love seeing people their lives being improved by getting a career and getting educated and getting into jobs. That's what I'm here to do, and that's my passion is to see people's lives be improved through education. So
that's awesome. So have you been happy with the turnout you've had so far over the weekend? Have you spoken to many people coming through?
Yeah, we've had a really good turnout here at the boat show. There's a steady stream of people, and you wouldn't believe like all types of people, all shapes and sizes, all ages are interested, coming up to me and asking, "Oh, what careers are there?" You know, it's surprising that people even boaties aren't even aware of the potential careers that are within their own industry. So we've got a big job to build that awareness, and that's hopefully we can make an impact on the industry and keep the industry alive here in Victoria.
What about live podcasting? Is that a boating industry career that you'll be steering people towards, or is that just something we've made up?
No live podcasting. I think it's a great way to get the message out there. Absolutely.
Yeah. We just sort of I don't know, evolved into the position we're in. Like we started doing the podcast a few years ago, and then thought, geez, it'd be good to go out and meet a few people. And the boat show in Melbourne is probably the pinnacle of the boating events for the year, and
that's it.
Here we are today. So it's been fantastic to see everyone coming through and having a chat. And the vibe is very good at the moment. It's an exciting time of year coming into summer.
It is.
I don't know. Have you ever witnessed snapper season in Melbourne? It's a spectacle.
No, I've actually only just moved here from Queensland. Last year. So I've spent my first winter here now, and so I understand the climate change. I never realised that the boating industry was seasonal. Coming from Queensland, where it's a round thing, when I came to Melbourne, I was actually a bit surprised to see that they basically closed down over winter.
A lot of people
get their boats out of the water and get some service. But I guess it adds to that excitement though as well, as you've got that downtime. So when you're coming into the summer, it's actually a really exciting time. It makes it all the more better to get out there on the water and to experience the sunshine, isn't it?
Yeah, well, it's definitely a growing sector because years ago in Melbourne, the fishing wasn't fantastic. We had snapper season, which is incredible,
Yep.
and whiting and a few bread and butter species like that.
Yep.
And then along came this tuna fishing, which started down out there on the southwest coast at Portland and Port Fairy and stuff. And that used to be sort of June through till August. And it's just evolved to the point where now we get our snapper season. We can catch snapper all year. They slow down in winter, but if you're keen and you want to get cold, you can go out in winter and catch them. But over summer, we get species like kingfish come through, and then the tuna, and we get a summer tuna run that comes through Bass Strait now. So we never used to have tuna come anywhere near Melbourne, Western Port, Port Phillip, but we get that over summer. And then into winter, we start to see big tuna. So we're getting them still at the moment. If you head out offshore off Phillip Island, the back of Port Phillip, you're a chance of catching 100-kilo bluefin. So all these species that are thriving, it's good for the boating industry. Where, like, I know you're saying it is seasonal, and it is. We'll see it kick off massively in the next couple of weeks. Generally, Melbourne Cup weekend is the starting point of snapper season for a lot of people. And so a lot of people aren't putting their boat away for winter anymore, which is fantastic to see. So it's good for the industry. You know, people are going further in their boats as well. There's a fishery off Lakes Entrance there where people are chasing swordfish. We're doing 80, 90, 100 kilometers offshore. So you need big, powerful boats with big engines and big fuel tanks. So it's I think it's an exciting industry to be in.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
And the technological advances that we're starting to see now. I mean, there's stuff like, have you seen there's like a Seakeeper product up here, which is like a gyro stabilizer that keeps boats very stable. So
stable out in the water. The technology's it is come a long way. They catch your own fish for you now, don't they?
Yeah, pretty much. It's getting a bit that way down. It's like some of the stuff that guys have in their boats, they got, up to $100,000 worth of electronics, which is probably a bit beyond reach of myself, but it's a cool gear anyway if you can afford it. So it is. It's an industry that I think is going to boom, and I think it's nation specific enough that I hope don't see it moving offshore as long as we can keep the workforce growing, like you were saying.
Yep, and that's where we've got the big job. Is we need to bring as many people as we can to the industry. To help us support it for its future.
Amazing. Oh, well, I think it's been fantastic to talk to you, Dan. And you're still going to be here at the boat show for the rest of the day. So
I'm here till this afternoon. So, come on down to Boating Careers stand. If you're interested in looking at getting into the industry, come and have a chat to us and we can sort of direct you, hook you up with employers and hopefully keep the industry alive for the future.
Awesome. And what's how do that on?
So the website's boatingcareers.com.au. You can go to the website and register your interest if you want to. If you are interested in working in the industry, or if you're looking at an apprenticeship, just register on there, and it comes straight to me, and I can help you with that. So
awesome. Well, thank you for taking some time out of your day. I know you've kind of left your stand a bit unattended there, but we'll let you get back to it. Thanks very much, Dan.
I really appreciate it.
No worries. Signing out here from the Boat Show from our morning's podcast. We're going to be back around 1 p.m. from the guys from Eden Craft Boats. So we're going to hear a little bit about how they go about making those beautiful machines. And we'll see you all then.
Thank you.